To say that I was waiting for this manga chapter for the longest, time says a lot. Because last week I made a video, probably like the first time in my channel's history, of making a Dragon Ball video about leaks. I typically do not make videos about leaks, and I try to stay away from leaks. But obviously the leaks were something that got the Dragon Ball community up in utter flames, and I can't blame him because I was up in there. Now, the manga chapter has come out. I literally read it before class. Thank God I read, the rest of it during one of my classes online, because I guess Viz Media, everybody was trying to read the damn manga just to see it almost as bad as the one episode way back in Dragon Ball Super with the whole first episode of Goku turning Ultra Instinct. Here, we just wanted to see what the hell's going on here, and I see things crashing, certain panels were not showing up. Anyways. You want to get my thoughts on the manga chapter? Okay. My thoughts on the manga chapter. I do not think this manga chapter was good. The ideas that were presented and given in this chapter, great ideas, great, ways of coming up with new themes. How we got to that point, though, is the main problem. If you did not check out my Dragon Ball Super leaks videos, I said it doesn't matter. If after that, Moro gets one-shotted. Because Goku gave Moro the Sensu Bean, it will not rectify whatever happens going forward. Just from what happens. And that's the thing that brings this chapter down. You don't understand, guys. And for the Dragon Ball Super fans that are saying, well, guess what? It still ended up good. The ideas are good. Yes, but you got to look at where we got to get to this. We see in the lead up after Goku gives him the Sensu Bean, we see Moro sees that, hey, I see my hand on just a convenient piece of rubble near the lava. Just take that same damn approach, and you could have did this. Take the same approach where Goku's doing this BS, but he hasn't give him the freaking Sensu Bean, and right before Goku, kills him off, Moro sees his decapitated hand in the vicinity. You make him work his way to get to that hand. He then grabs his hand by maybe doing his magic, and then he reattaches it, and then guess what? He's got Mirror's ability, he re-heals, and then guess what? You can continue with what the rest of the manga chapter could have been what it was, and I would actually said that's a thumbs up chapter. Yeah, it was the execution to get Moro to have the hand. Yes, it'd be shaky if they went that direction. If they just had taken out the Sensu Bean scene, this chapter, in my opinion, would have been a thumbs up chapter. It would have been a thumbs up chapter. But because they went the stupid Sensu Bean route, where they have Goku literally, and I mean literally, again, try to have some bad enemy with the benefit of the doubt to think that they're going to turn good, when we've seen time and time again in this arc, from the start of this arc to where we're at now, Moro has adamantly denied anything Goku has said or, done in references of him wanting to change into a good person. He said it 2 times in this manga chapter. One before he gave him the Sensu Bean, and then he goes on to talk about, if you train more and stuff like that, you would have probably been a good guy. Maybe I can help you along with this. No, Goku! He's not going to change! And again, this is just bad writing from Toyotaro. Just bad writing from him. That's just bad writing. Because first, you get the sense of being BS, which look, I'm gonna get to it. When I was reading this, I was like, this makes the dialogue makes it sound even worse. So Goku, before he even gives the sense of being, he has the sense of being in his hands. He's like, I'll spare you if you agree to go back to the galactic prison and promise not to break out ever again. Then Moro gives the whole thing like, okay, sure, I promise you, please. Gives him the sense of being and stuff like that. And he goes on to say this too, after he's like, listen, that thing will heal yourself, and then you go right next to Jocko, and you'll be taken to prison. Now I'm here, I'm like, yeah, so a universal enemy is really gonna go with Jocko. Please. He didn't even want to steal his energy. Hell, he didn't even want to kill him because he saw how weak Jocko was. And guess what? He reheals, and then, Goku asks him again. He's like, listen, I just spared you. Go back to prison now. And he's like, yeah, really? You're gonna die by my hand, which is another damn callback, or the same exact dialogue scene that Frieza said. So it's not bad enough that we're still getting callbacks, and stuff like that. Now, I thought the whole scene when he was going in for, to essentially, I guess, impale Goku and punch him, like Goku put on like some kind of defense barrier or something, which broke Moro's hand. And I was like, okay, that was cool. That was cool. So that's when we can see his hand in the distance and everything and stuff like that. And oh my god. And this is the crazy part. So then Goku in the next panel, after Moro breaking his hand, he goes on, he literally squats next to him, deforms from Ultra Instinct, and he's like, have you ever thought about training? And I'm like, what the fuck is this? What does now? So now you're talking about training with him now. What is he? Vegeta? He's not Vegeta. He ain't Piccolo. Like seriously, he goes into this nonchalant talk about training with Moro. And I'm like, dude, you're literally squatting, just having a little chit chat with a universal villain that you can kill within a snap of your finger right there. And you're just gonna waste your time talking to him, which Jocko brings up. He's like, Goku, maybe you should finish him off. And Goku's like, how about now? I'm actually talking with this guy for a quick second, so just hold on for that. And I'm like, why? Just finish him off and kill him. That's when I lost it, when Jocko even is telling this dude's ass, listen, finish him off, Goku! And then you just see Goku just turn back like, Jocko, I'm talking to this man. Can I let me talk to him? Yeah, you want to talk with a universal threat who's killed millions of people, who's consumed millions of planets over decades, not just when he returned, decades before Goku was even born. And you want to have a chit chat about training? Bullshit! This is the stupid writing from Toyotaro that makes no fucking sense. Moro then finds his fucking hand, and that's when the freaking chapter actually starts to get fucking good. But then guess what? Because Goku's dumbass decision of just, stalling for time, and makes the villain regroup, find his arm, get Mears' power, he has another transformation, which is essentially just added white fur, and then his eye shading is white. So, not really inventive design there. I still think his goat design looks really badass. But what do I know? You gotta make every character look like a hit or sell type of character. So, yeah, whatever. I will give it credit. The added fur or the longer fur looks cooler. It does. And stuff like that. Yeah, and they do the typical thing where, okay, Goku at the last second realizes, yep, you're beyond saving, which, motherfucker, you really could have said this 2-3 minutes ago. Also, he can instantly transform into Master Ultra Instinct now, because he goes back to base form, and he instantly reverts back to Ultra Instinct. So I don't know if that means he can just magically turn into Ultra Instinct at will now. MUI Ultra Instinct. So we'll just have to see in the coming fucking months when the next new arc starts or whatever. Good God. As I was saying, the manga chapter from that point on, it actually starts to get somewhat better. The fighting scenes we get here, the art, phenomenal. Some of the fighting scenes we got here and some of the, choreography in this manga chapter we got were actually pretty good stuff. I'm like, okay, I'm enjoying this. If it was not fun, but the only problem is this. Why is the Setsu Bean thing and the stalling of keeping Moro alive? You could have saved much more panels if you had not gone that route. And that's like, I'm loving what I'm seeing as the chapter is progressing for Moro, mostly. And I'm like, this is some good shit. Interesting. But then I'm like, wait, that beginning fucking trashed it all. I told you, I'm swearing. This is rated R material. So if you're a kid, get off the damn channel and leave. I'm told this is a rant. As I'm saying, I'm liking where this is going. So, they're having like a back and forth, brawl. And, Goku still kind of is calm about it. And he's really like, not even phased. He's like, it is what it is and stuff like that. They do have this really cool scene where they come to blows and essentially destroys the entire area. Goku kind of flies off and, Moro's like, trying to protect your planet. How adorable. And they're fast. They're flying so damn fast. They're flying like circles around the damn planet and shit. I'm like, so fucking cool. But wait, the beginning. Yeah, that's great. And stuff like that. Now, Moro, he goes on to say, like, listen, my magic gives me the upper leg in this fight against you. Which, let's be honest, he barely uses magic because he kind of turned into a hulking body and stuff like that. Now, obviously, Goku's like, okay, that's fine, but it ain't gonna do nothing. And Moro's like, shouldn't you be scared? And Goku's like, nah, not really. So then this is when we start to see the fight, just change like crazy. So what happens is this. So we see Moro abnormally get bigger. Like the first thing that gets bigger is his fist. And I'm over here looking like, did he just call Luffy from One Piece and activate Gear 3rd? But what we find out, because the more Goku hits him, his body's getting all, he's getting all deformed and stuff like that. And essentially what we find out is, this is why the reason Goku talked about the training and stuff like that. And the reason is this, the angel power Moro is using from Miras's abilities is given, he took from Miras. The angel powers are too much for Moro's body to handle. And essentially, it's like the Zamasu syndrome, the merged Zamasu syndrome, the whole aspect of, the fusion, backing, the fusion not, working correctly. But essentially, Moro hasn't trained with like, angel type of level powers, essentially. And his body, the power of the angel is too much for Moro's body to handle. And essentially, which is another callback to Cell, he's turned into a demorphed version. It's like a combination of the Cell when he gets all giant after Gohan knocks him back to his second form, and then the merged Zamasu deformation of merged Zamasu, where one half of him looks like a puddly mess and the other one looks like Zamasu. That's essentially what here. He's looking into a deformed type of mess of a creature here and stuff like that, where he's getting freaking gigantic and stuff like that. Now Goku's like, listen, You know, the same thing that's happened to you happened to Sanga, bro, and stuff like that, which we remember earlier. So, okay, you're keeping things from past chapters, good. And stuff like that. He goes on to tell Moro, Goku goes on to tell Moro, I only mastered this technique after honing my body to withstand it. It's not something you can just wield like you feel it. And he tells him, like, listen, dude, just abandon Maris's power and you'll be fine. And stuff like that. And Moro's like, bitch, please, I'm not going to do this. This is my chance to defeat you. And stuff like that. And then after Goku knocks him into the ground, you know, this is when we see this concerned look on Whis, which is another time a Dragon Ball character tells Goku, because Whis says, listen, he's like, hey, son Goku, you might want to finish him off right now because you don't want things to get worse than they already are. Really? Because it did get worse. Because guess what? Now, because the power is too much for Moro to handle, he literally fuses. I kid you not. He fuses with the Earth. And now the manga chapter ends off with the fact is, if Goku ends up killing Moro, the Earth is gonna just be like, boom, you're dead. No more second chances. You're all dead. That was cool, and that was a great twist. The only thing that sucks with it is, like I said at the beginning, and two, this takes place before the end of Z, so we know the Z fighters are gonna get out of this. If this took place after the end of Z, it would have been much more cooler because the stakes are off the charts, damn it. So literally, this guy, if you ever seen Guardians of the Galaxy, is literally like Ego, the living planet. If you ever seen the movie Guardians of the Galaxy 2, that's what it's like now. It's literally Goku versus a planet. I'm like, that's dope. That's dope. But the start of the manga ruins that all. The start of it ruins it. And like I said, I'll say it again, I'll say it before. The start does not rectify what we saw later on in this chapter. Where the ideas this chapter presented, cool. I'm not gonna take anything away. That's some top tier shit, and I was very much intrigued. But the beginning does not make that rectified. Does not rectify Goku's decision. And it's just a time and time thing. He spared Frieza, Cell, Boo to an extent, all these damn characters, and shows these characters mercy all over time after, you know, learning, hey, maybe I should take things serious. You know, it wasn't too long ago you were fighting for your damn universe. Now, guess what? You're dealing with a threat, which guess what? Now you're not only endangering lives, Whis says it also too. Yeah, if Moro actually explodes, you're not only endangering your planet, you're endangering an entire galaxy. So Goku just endangered the lives of thousands, trillions of other races out there in the galaxy, in the Milky Way galaxy. It's in the Milky Way galaxy here. Literally, you're telling me one trigger by Moro, one explosion, when the power's too much for him to handle, blow up, you lose an entire galaxy. So you're literally putting so Goku's dumb decision literally put the lives of not just millions of people on one planet, billions and trillions of people around a damn galaxy. One galaxy. Just imagine if he had the power to destroy one universe! Universe 7 in its entirety! They could have went that route and been like, well, if Moro, because the power's too much, he could actually blow up the entire universe! But they're like, he can blow up the entire galaxy! Like, dog! What the hell? Goku? This is just really bad character regression. Really bad character regression. I'm sorry. I liked what I saw in this manga chapter. I really did in terms of the moral aspect. But this manga chapter gets a thumbs down from me. just from the beginning. I said it in my leak video. It doesn't matter what happens in this manga chapter going forward. Nothing can rectify what goes forward because of Goku's decision. Literally. The Goku thing, the Goku sensu bean thing is just as bad, if not worse, than the Maru Zamasu issue. Now, you're gonna ask me, Camfrey 15, how are they gonna get out of this situation? There's only two ways they can get out of this situation. One, Whis does his reverse time jutsu thing, and he reverses a bunch of the time when Goku has a chance to finish him off. And then you probably have Krillin say, Goku, finish Moro now! No excuses, finish him now! Or, which seems like the more likely route because they have not yet shown him in the manga chapters so far since he got literally his butt handed to him, Vegeta. He can use his Force Spirit Fission to try to hit Moro and I guess break, the seal on his body being combined with the earth. And I think that's where they're probably going to go. Use Vegeta to use his Force Spirit Fission, where it will essentially break away the earth and Moro will be, just a regular person again. He won't be fused with the earth, which I feel like that's where they're going to take it. But literally, what Toyotaro should have did is this. He shouldn't have. This is what I would have did for this manga chapter. Do not take out the sensu bean scene. You have Goku stall stupidly instead of finishing him off. And or you can have Moro realizing, fine, I can't defeat this guy where I stand now. So Goku takes him to Jocko and make sure he gets to Jocko when he's handcuffed or something. Then he realizes, he sees his detached arm when one mirrors. He uses his magic ability to grab it, reattach it, breaks out the cuffs, and then he can have the power again. There you go, and then you can have everything going forward. Would have been a great chapter. But because of the Goku decision, this chapter gets a thumbs down from me. Manga chapter 66 next month in November, they have to do something to, they have to blow it out of the park for me to be like, okay, the Moro arc was, even though it had that really bad wrong spot there, it at the end of the day, it ended up well. That's the way I can anticipate it. If we can just get a well enough ending to this arc, I'll take it. But the Goku thing, it really fucked up this arc, man. It really fucked up this arc. And you could just be like, the Moro arc, it was good, really good. And then that moment happened. And now we're probably gonna get a lackluster ending. And if you just take out that one sensu bean story plot, you're fine. Anyways, I ranted on this video. You guys now know my thoughts on the Dragon Ball Super manga chapter 65. We're going to have to wait till November 28th to see what happens next. Vegeta probably will make a reappearance and break apart more from the Earth to save everybody and make sure stuff like that. And they'll probably finish him off either in December or maybe the end of November. So we'll just have to see what happens. Anyways, this has been Kevin15. If you liked the video, leave a like. Put in the comment section your thoughts about this manga chapter. Do you think what you saw later on this arc rectified the sensu bean situation? I don't think it should, and nor do I think it did. As well as hit that subscribe button to get more Dragon Ball Super manga chapter content every month for when it continues. As well as hit that notification button to make sure to get any upload that I do going forward. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day. And yeah, until then, guys, peace.